We are recording, we are live. I love it when they say it because it makes sure we know we're here. Okay, we're here for the zoning citation hearings for June 23rd, 2021. First item on the list is, well, we don't have an address. We're gonna say South Main Street parcel is what we're calling it for the simplicity of the agenda. Counselor?
I'm sorry. I was reading it.
Happens to all of us.
Just fell behind.
Oh, no, I'd say we're on the first item. We're calling this item from here on out the South Main Street parcel. There's no address designated to it yet at this point from the Department of Public Works or tax assessor. So we're gonna roll with that. If I tried to get the land records description on there, it would take up 7 pages. So,
All right, I'm Attorney Gary Oberst. I'm your hearing officer today. To my right is John Hayducky, the Deputy Zoning Inspector. In the audience is Steve Kleppen, the Director of Planning and Zoning. What else do I need? Procedure, city presents its findings, then I hear you. If there are interested parties, they can be heard, then we'll see if we can reach a resolution. And you're represented by counsel, and you are, sir.
Jose Seca.
Raise your hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Put your hands up.
And for the record, I'm John Hall with Left Going Right.
I'll get this right one of these days. I'm working on it. Okay,
all right. So we'll start, we'll go to the share screen. We'll get the housekeeping out of the way here. So here we go. So here's what we'll start. We'll start with the ownership, proof of ownership and service, because this is probably the second most complicated thing in the whole file. So we'll go with, we received a complaint regarding storage of contractors' equipment and vehicles and commercial activity on a parcel in South Norwalk on South Main Street. Let me also, before I start this, let me just show you where we are located here. There we go. And I started looking up another address before we started. My apologies, everybody. So this is the nearest address to it. I don't know. So it's gonna be one of those days, ladies and gentlemen. So it's South Main, not on there. There we go. Okay, so bring that. So what we are talking about, if you look on the simple Google map here, is this tract of land right here, running down alongside South Main Street, going from up top, starting on Bell Avenue, and coming down to the junction of Meadow Street. That is the parcel which we are dealing with today.
right.
So that's the location. And let me go back to our, so because it does not have an address or even a district block and lot number.
Sorry.
Got emails, we got cell phone, everybody's everybody's pouring in here. So what I have here is the quick claim deed showing the ownership, the transfer of that land. And yes, it is 8 pages long, but I'll give you the brief here. From the CSX Transportation, which was a former railroad, which is a railroad company that owned this parcel prior, to Seha Properties LLC. And if we go to our old friends on, it's the last page there, my apologies. So I'm just going to zip through all this to the last page. And right there, so Seha Properties LLC. It is at 10 Westview Lane, Norwalk, Connecticut. Jose Seha is president, and he is here today. Hopefully that makes some sense.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
We agree with all that, by the way.
thank you. Thank you.
That is the property, that's the owner, and he's the principal.
God, I got through that. Okay, so now, because that would have to be one large PDF, I actually have to go to presentation to show the,
Covered.
yeah, put that there, okay. So first we have our notice of violation, sent to Sayha Properties LLC, 10 Westview Lane, there's that. And we will scroll down and we have the return green card or return receipt for the certified mail. And we have Mr. Sayha.
That's your signature, Mr. Sarah? That's your signature?
Yes.
And then we have our citation from 617. Same address. And scroll down one more time.
This is the first citation?
For this parcel, yes. I'll,
Okay.
I got that. Sometimes I anticipate well. This is the constable service. It was left at the abode, but the owner's daughter accepted service for him. It's a nice daughter. And last but not least, we have. And so we have first, this was I copied Attorney Hall because he was counsel for the property owner in the prior matter. So I sent him the citation. This was his response, asking if we were on for, well, he said tomorrow, which is today. And here we are. I verified on the bottom. Yes, we are, 3 o'clock. And because I like Attorney Hall, I come first all the time. And confirmation is here today.
Any objection to anything the city has presented so far?
No.
Okay, I heard we're probably gonna get the objections. So we'll go to, all right, so
All this,
I will,
well, that is it, forms it. Okay.
so I will go saying we did have a similar issue on the adjacent parcel, which was 179 South Main Street. This is actually a separate parcel. So 179 South Main Street was cleared, was resolved, and remains in compliance. So this is the property next to it, the long parcel. 179 South Main Street contained a multifamily house and a property in a C zone.
Okay, that's all resolved.
That's all resolved. So that's why this looks somewhat familiar.
Gotcha.
They
So
were here
this
before.
is, we're just calling South Main Street parcel for lack of a better term.
Right, if
You don't
I,
have an address or anything you go by? You can't get mailed there or anything?
It doesn't have a driveway, it doesn't have like curb access or anything like that. It would have to cross over the other parcel, which it cannot under the previous understanding. And so it's just kind of an isolated parcel that is kind of sitting there. It used to be the railroad, so that's why it's kind of.
Okay.
so this here, so this was a photo when I was out in inspections on 179. This was just a good, I documented this stretch as well because it was there and I was adjacent to it. This is while we were doing the other matter, but these photos are of the parcel in question.
Not necessarily current.
Are
as
those
far as
video
the
ones?
rights go, so.
Hold on.
Yeah. These
I
are,
got a question.
yeah, sure, yeah.
You weren't going out to look at that for any, you just happened to be there. You did not get a complaint or anything.
At that time, at that time, correct.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
This was more for documentation purposes. I think it was also, if I may enter in that at the time, there was a discussion that this property may be purchased by Mr. Seha at the time during our investigation last time, if you want to be that harsh. And so I decided when I was there, got granted access one day, see what was there at that time.
Mhm.
And this is just an idea to show I'm also showing also the length of what is there, like how long this actually goes. So this.
You mean the physical distance.
Right, physical, right, exactly. So,
There's no dates on this.
yeah, right. 12/11/2020.
Okay.
That you can blame me for, Counselor, I
blame you.
didn't hand that over to you, sorry, you can blame me for that. You can- I'm the only
So
one who
this is the
blames.
date for all of these.
Right, correct, yep.
Okay.
And so basically what this is here, this is towards the border of the property at 179 South Main Street is right in this area here. And there is an entrance to the property at 179 South Main Street from the street. So this is just to the left of it. So if you're looking at 179 South Main, we're starting to the left in these photos. And this goes, this is just for showing, how far down we're going here. So this is just a little more to the left.
So
As
just
you keep going.
walking along and taking.
Walking along, yep, along the street, yep.
Okay.
And this was probably, oh, now we got mixed in the wrong way, sorry. This should have been the first picture, my apologies, this should have been the first picture. That was just my fault. Well, out of order. I see this, so this is why I also put this here, is because this was the previous violation that we had.
That on the right.
Right, this side of the fence,
That's
correct.
fine.
That's fine, right? Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go back to so this just keeps going down South Main. This is by the, almost directly across the intersection of Novak Street, which if you're kind of familiar with there, it's the only street nearby. So it's directly across the street from that, maybe about 100 feet, 150 feet from the entrance. I'll throw the map back up there as well. I haven't mastered the screen share. I don't know if we can do two at the same time.
You should be able to, if it's one of the tabs that are open.
It's not, yeah, but could I, let me ask
Yeah.
this, can I do this here, once this goes away?
If the tab had, I don't know, maybe we'll find out.
I know, I mean, it's on there, I can definitely
Yeah.
throw
Yeah, I don't think you could open up
a new window,
Yeah,
per se, okay, we can do that. Cause I actually know where the photos are, so I don't really 100% need, hey, why is my town coming up there? That's interesting. All right, so this here, I'll zoom in just a touch. This is Novak Street right here. So that photo of the that had the orange container on it is almost across the street from that.
Okay. Got it.
And then, oops. There we go. So we just keep going down, and I guess the next, so this is just a little leveled area behind all that. And then this photo is going all the way down to the end, looking towards the end of the parcel. And next one's a little close up of that, right there.
Right.
So it basically is looking both directions. I took one going back up South Main Street and one going down South Main Street.
So there's a dumpster on the parcel,
Oh, yeah.
or it looks like a.
Yeah, it's a container, yep. And this is, like I said, these are this is a little bit older. But this here, this little area, so this here is kind of a little difficult to see. This is actually pavement down here. That is actually property of Hatch and Bailey.
This piece
Yeah.
of,
There's a little,
where does this end?
this parcel, all the way, the parcel ends all the way down here at Middle Street.
So what's Hatch and Bailey doing?
Well, Hatch and Bailey is, let me see, let me get the.
They abut it.
Yeah,
to
they
the
have left,
left.
right.
Okay,
So here we go. So this is Hatch and Bailey's property here.
can you make that bigger?
I'm gonna give it a shot. I just don't want it to become pixelated. There we go. So this is Hatch and Bailey all in here.
Oh, I remember.
And that photo shows the pavement, which is about right
Oh,
in
okay,
here.
okay, fine.
And then this little bit
It
goes
does-
all the way down,
That's all
there.
our problem here.
right, and if you look here, you kind of see some like the flattened out area.
Right,
That shows right here, it's actually visible from there, and then this is, so like I said, here was the entrance to 179 South Main Street,
Right.
right here.
Right.
Those first few photos
right.
were going down that way.
Yeah, okay.
So this is an old Google photo.
Oh, yeah, this is probably from, I would say this is probably 2 years ago,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
It's a little more lush here,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, so that's one set of photos.
Hold on a second. Attorney Hall, any objection to anything that Mr. Ducky is?
No, because I think the, nobody's saying that depicts the present
No, that's the date
Circumstance,
as of
that's just
December 11th.
as of December, right? So that doesn't necessarily reflect what's there now.
Right, more for
We
it.
gotta make this. correct.
Yeah, more for a little, reference, so everybody's on the same page. So then now we'll go to, these were taken, these are fresh. June 17th, 2021.
Mhm.
So here we go. This is at the entrance again, to 179. There is on this side of the fence, which has already been resolved, that one vehicle that's permitted, and that's okay. So now we have the stretch back here with the equipment here, and vehicles in the back.
You just can't stop yourself, can you?
That's been
The
there
Jeep,
since-
the
since-
Jeep is new.
Yes.
How far it works. So we got some equipment here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, so just let me know when you're, if you need
I'm with you, I'm with
any.
you. Go ahead.
So this is immediately to the left of the opening. We have a little yep,
I'm not, this is,
and
all this, where's the opening? Here?
the opening would be on this side here. So if we go to the, oh, geez, I hate this thing. Wonders of technology.
So the first picture with the Jeep in it was
Right.
looking in from the opening to the right,
Right.
and now he's
Right.
looking in from the opening to the
So,
left.
so yes, so the first
Oh.
picture was here, and I shot the camera
Okay,
over this direction.
right.
This photo here is roughly about right in here.
Okay.
Right, if you want to do the next photo, he's like, I'll look on yours and I'll try and go back and forth this way.
No,
Or
that's all right.
I think, I mean, I don't know if those are the same pavers or not, but
yeah, and so this is just going down
Okay, so this is, the date of this is,
June 17th.
this is current, this is the pavers are here, where, these are storage units.
No, that looks like an excavator. I'll go back to that. Here we go. Here we go. Like some sort of either excavator or a piece of equipment.
Okay.
For moving things I can lift manually.
Are these valid here?
Well, these up here,
Sorry, I'm going back.
no, that's okay. Your
Well,
show. You're the guy. You're the
well,
man.
I want,
So the Jeep could be there. That's a passenger vehicle. That's fine. These could not be if they're on, so you see the thing, the property line, we don't know exactly where, it could be these guys back here. I don't know if these do belong to you, Jose. They do. There you go. So
Okay,
that's it. Because the property line is somewhere
all right,
back here. The width of the right of way, the old railroad property is not that wide,
Right.
so it's kind of hard to see exactly.
He does
where-
leave some space from the property in the rear, so there might be an issue as to whether or not they're on the property. or not. I don't know.
all right.
So let's see, let's
Do
go
you
back.
still leave space from the property in the rear?
yes,
Okay.
Okay. So this shows the continuing, so that pile is still continuing going south on the parcel.
Yep. Now we get to.
Now we have a container. That is roughly, if I go back to Google, that is roughly across from 188. Their driveway, so about, this is 188 South Main, roughly in here. I
Okay,
don't have a pinpoint, but somewhere in here.
okay.
And then we go to, whoop, I should say that. And so this here, this is some area of disturbance that probably hasn't changed too much since the last photos. And that is down by, oh, I did it, didn't I? Should have done that. Here's what I'll do. Take this out for now, get rid of that. There we go.
What is this showing me?
That just shows the same area that was in the aerial photos that was down here, and the other photos, I should say, this
What's wrong
area
with
here.
this?
But that was, it's disturbed land. I got that for, not for our purposes per se, but for DEP.
Okay, so it doesn't. Nothing wrong with it.
Because it's not really popular.
I know, I don't know.
He, so basically what we're looking at. Yes.
What Mr. Sayed had us to pay attention to.
I'm sorry, I shut it off, I wasn't thinking how to shut it off.
I don't want you to miss what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry. yes,
You're
no more.
liable. All right, so do you have any objections to these photos, Attorney Hall, including the fact that he claims that this is on the property? Just
That'll be this one.
that one.
Is that container on the property? then?
On my property, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so these are all full exhibits. All right, except for that.
I appreciate
I
that,
keep
Attorney
looking.
Overs, because you can't always tell if something's on the property or not.
Just because he shows me. a
Right,
picture,
but I mean, first of all, I trust him to take the pictures accurately, but just, we have the man here.
Is that a right to object?
No, that was helpful to know what's there.
So we look at this as this is use of a parcel as a contractor's storage. Now, in full admits industrial one, under normal circumstances, this is allowed. The first issue is there's no permit for it. Haven't got an application for a permit to use it. And we have to get the application to see if the property itself can support it with all of our regulations, all of our stipulations for contractors and for creation of a parcel. Two, the more immediate issue is that, as we learned last hearing, there is a current moratorium on contractors' yards. So even though, even if there was some way to shoehorn any of this, couldn't issue a permit anyway. Because it would be considered a new contractor's yard. And those are the moratorium. And among other things, just even if to apply for a permit for this, we'd have to establish that, first of all, that this is a legal lot within the industrial one zone. It would have to meet all the criteria for a contractor's yard and a lot in the zone. And then we'd have to also, it would have to be accessed a different way, because the current way goes through a residential zone, which that can't happen. And then there's just a lot of, I'm just going through some examples.
Okay. Your turn.
Well, I think what John says is accurate. Obviously, there's vehicles parked there that are associated with the contractor's yard. I think the only problem is the moratorium. I mean, obviously, with the moratorium in place, we can't file an application. So the fact that there's no application is not like a kind of a separate issue. It's the same issue.
Well, yeah, you can't even file it.
They won't accept it. Yeah, they won't accept an application. We had discussed purchasing this property with the idea of converting that other 179 lot to a kind of a combination property. And making it all and changing the zone all to industrial, which seems to make sense under the circumstances, at least the part that, would access the road. But we can't do that because it's not compliance, because it's in violation. So, it's whether it's a legal lot, I think, is another reason why, and this is, I think John was taking some of those pictures at the time when we were kind of contemplating how to best use the area that is being shown here in combination with the front area to kind of make it into something, whether it's a contractor's yard or something else, because there probably isn't enough room on the lot as situated. It's too narrowly tailored to constitute a separate lot. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't really dug down to that point because, everything's kind of been on hold. I think it seems to me to be an ideal location for this type of use, because it isn't in a permitted use if the moratorium was in place. And I think, in my opinion, which is kind of going a little outside the scope of the hearing, the moratorium doesn't make sense. What makes sense is to regulate these things as opposed to just putting a complete blanket, you can never do it. I know.
I'll give you a bigger list than you can give me.
So I think the moratorium is a problem. The fact that it was extended is a problem. I understand they might have their report back, which is everybody's waiting for, to see what the recommendations are to get rid of the moratorium. That doesn't excuse the fact that we're apparently using the lot as for the purposes that we're showing the photographs and storage stuff associated with the contractor's yard. I'm not sure how much actual, active use it's getting. I don't think it's changed a lot, in the last 8 months or anything like that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the fact that it's the same configuration as it was back in December probably doesn't mitigate in our favor. But I think there are a couple of things we could do. Rather than store the pavers in a pile, we could pave the lot, and that would take care of the storage issue. Right? There's nothing against paving the lot.
But then it creates another problem. You're creating parking surface within the front setback.
Is it? Well, pavers would constitute a parking
Pavers are not
service?
parking.
Yeah, why don't we put a basketball hoop at either end?
Has to be grass or asphalt.
Any hard surface.
Well, that's not what I understood.
Yeah, what if we put a basketball hoop at either end? We have the longest basketball court in the lot.
Yeah, 4 points.
You're just shooting all the way down to.
Steve, do you want to add?
No, I'll wait till he's finished.
So, but you know, obviously the vehicles are an issue, and so, we just have to find a place to move them to, you know, and until we can, properly, you know, apply for
So
the.
number one is to move the vehicles and we still have the pavers.
And the vehicles and equipment as well.
Vehicle.
There's some equipment.
So you better just get it out of there until something else changes, right?
Yes,
And then what else? We got the pavers. Are they in violation? What can you do with them?
Right,
Or
that's
just
the,
haul them out of there.
that's the simplest thing to do at this point, be to haul them out. I mean, if we got the,
Put them on one of the trucks.
others, I mean,
the container.
not for that, there's a container there, there's a couple of containers maybe that, you know, put them there and get those off the site, so that would be. I mean, that's ideal, I mean, I'm not gonna, here, we can't do much about any of the leveling of the land or anything like that, that's beyond us, that's probably state, if anything else, if anything. So we're just looking to get the, you know, the classic vehicles, equipment, material, as it says in the definition of contractor's yard, out of there until either it can be applied for as a contractor's yard or
Some
until
other
it's been
kind of,
determined that it can't be a contractor's yard and we have
and then
to
figure out what else. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I mean, I think that's the obvious solution.
Two points I'd like to raise. First, from my perspective, having to chase this around a second time is really annoying because we spent months and months with the first issue. And then the materials and equipment got put back knowing that they weren't allowed to be there. So this was kind of willingly just kind of flaunting the rules, in my opinion. Second, the moratorium, I would not bank any money on this being I-1 zoned after the moratorium's over. We may rezone it to something else. So I wouldn't bank on it being that in the future. So there is zero guarantee you'll ever be allowed to store any commercial equipment there. So I think you need to, my recommendation and request would be that everything get out of there immediately and then leave it as is until it's rectified and then decide what to do with the property.
Yeah, I think that's what we kind of settled on already.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what they said they do. Have you looked into the cost of clearing this up? Yeah,
Well, luckily, apparently he has a container and, and a backhoe or something back there that he could load it up. So now I guess you'd have to analyze that though. I mean, obviously the best solution would be to find somebody who wants the papers to actually use them for the for the purpose for which he, you know, got them. So, but no, we haven't investigated that.
okay. Well, I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have the reaction that Mr. Clappin did. You did what you said you do. Now you did something else. I'm not gonna. This is new to me as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's new. Period.
So I'm gonna treat it as if we're new. I think Mr. Clappin's second concern is addressed by, we're just gonna clear it out, make it compliant. And if things change in life, we can
Sure.
do what you have to
Of course.
do. So my question really is, how much time do you need to get this in compliance?
Well, if I may speak,
Sure, of
Please
course.
speak.
you know, we all knew that was already there when we came before, but it's a lot of stuff. If you could give me 2 months and because it's like 20 truckloads. And the other thing is not even an, I mean, I'll be using the entrance to the you know, the house. I mean, as long as you know, and I'll start clearing, but it's really a whole lot. And if you will give me 2 months, I'll do my best.
Well, I'm not inclined to do that due to you knew what you were doing. You knew you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, not this thing was already done.
I'm taking it, I'm gonna do what I would normally do. I would have you come back in a month and see what you got.
Yes, and absolutely.
Okay, if
No
you've done
problem.
nothing, I'm not gonna be happy. If you have
Yeah, I know
a
what you mean.
plan, if you have progress and a plan and the time is gonna be finished,
And we
that
will
would
see,
be
yes.
a nice thing for me to
Yes.
look at in a month.
And
Hopefully
with the
that the
progress.
2 month It is actually, but I don't want to wait too long.
I see what you mean.
Anybody calling?
Oh, let me check, I don't think. No, and nobody,
But as long as,
nothing there.
as
Nothing
long-
on the
One
phone.
second.
Just making sure, yeah, I got nothing.
He checked at the beginning too, to see if anybody's in the
Yeah.
waiting room.
as long as we agree that, because it's a lot of stuff, I mean, if they don't bother me, that trucks will be coming in to pick it up.
We have to.
Okay.
You're not gonna store the trucks, there it is. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
And that we know that, that's part of the process here, that's the easy and quickest way to get them out.
Yeah, there is no
And
other way.
I'll be there along the way.
So in other words, not only there is equipment, I gotta get more equipment to load it, I don't have anything to load it.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see how it is in the month. I totally understand
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the entrance and, if somebody does,
Sure,
if somebody follows up with this, I have an answer now.
okay,
I don't have to go to the route always, oh, it's for a business.
I
I
got it,
have an answer now.
I got it, yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
May I say one more thing, just for the
Yeah, I
record?
was gonna say, I'm else something to say.
Just, Mr. Kleppen mentioned the fact that everything was, we returned to the site. That wasn't the case.
No.
That's all.
Okay, I'm ready to roll.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Piece of paper to write
We got
on.
shifted over here. Kind of turned down.
All right, so. Gonna keep, I've got. I'm gonna write down. New matter. Parentheses, but should have known better, to remind yourself. Any games from you guys?
Just write in parentheses, short leash.
Violation found. Fine. So I have room in here.
Well, we don't have a lot at the moment. It's pretty, I think it's like, I believe it is, it's not much, it's like 300. I think.
I'll put a $300 contingent fine to monitor progress. Continued to the date.
Next, so let's take a quick look here when we have something set up. The only meetings we have a go right now are the 7th and the 14th. I don't know why we did back to back like that.
July?
Of July. Those are the next hearings that we have scheduled. So if you would, 1 month, the closest would be the 21st or the 28th. So we'd be doing 3 in a row if we did that.
Well, so if we did the 28th.
It would be the first one on that agenda.
That'd be more time than they.
Right.
That should give them enough time.
30 days would be the 23rd, so that would give 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 days, that work.
Okay, so that's good. Hold on a second. Let's get everything in. All right, so that's gonna be definitely on the 28th, we have hearings. Okay, so
Now we do.
now continue to 7/28. Giving you notice right now, we don't have to go forward. Okay, any
Confirm.
questions?
Yep, no questions.
All right, so
3 o'clock?
Yep, same time, same place, and I'll make sure you're the first to get in there. but no.
this is somebody who wants better.
Exactly, like everybody.
Okay. thank you,
And that's
gentlemen.
it, yeah, we're all set, ladies and gentlemen, let's double check, nobody's here, so we are good, we're going to pause or play. Fantastic. Okay, so. Oh. As a reminder, you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just do real quick, sorry for the slight delay, ladies and gentlemen, there, sorry about that. Let's see, there we go. Here in the presentations, I accidentally closed it out when I hit that last, I knew that was gonna happen when I did that too. Okay. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so for those who are following along at home, we are on 3 Bob White Drive. This one here had a bit of a back and forth, and I think there's, I think anybody who may be following along with this one, and following what's been happening with the City Hall and to a lesser extent, the country, you might find it a little humorous. So what happened here was, and I'll bring up the presentation from the last time it was here. Let me do share screen. Okay, so the last time we were here, it was actually on June, it was June 9th, the last time we were here for this matter. And at the time, this is for a trailer. I'll show that real quick, just so hearing off sees it right there. So this was for placement of a trailer that did not comply with all setbacks. The owner and her son were here at the May 19th hearing. Follow me along now. And they said they would have the trailer moved by the next hearing, which we had was June 9th. So what ended up happening here is I went out on June 8th to verify whether the trailer had been moved or not. And it looked to be in the same
Can I
location.
interrupt? I'm sorry.
Sure, no, that's
Could you- I need notice for this.
Right, well, for hearing
For the July 7th.
the July 9th hearing.
Correct. July 7th.
Something, I was right.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're,
My fault.
I didn't, yeah, I don't need to hear that yet.
Yeah, so basically, we made an assessment at the June 9th hearing because I was unable to verify if the trailer was moved.
Right,
They did not notify me that it was moved.
right.
So we send the decision form, as we're supposed to by state statute,
right.
to the property owner. And I believe it was several days later, I actually have the date, if I may. On June 14th, the property owner's son contacted me in a little bit of a frenzy, asking what happened. And apparently the property owner assumed that if she had just moved it, I would just know to come in and verify it. But I had no notice of that, and I couldn't get onto the property when I went to check because nobody was home.
Gotcha.
So we assessed a $1,000 fine based on the fact that I couldn't verify if it was moved or not. So upon the owner's son contacting me on June 14th, we arranged a inspection to confirm this for what ended up being Monday, this past Monday.
Right.
And lo and behold, we had Monday off for marking of Juneteenth for a new holiday.
Right.
I was not able to get out there. So I called the son again on Tuesday, and which was yesterday, and I didn't hear back. So he called today saying, like, do I have to come down? He's like, we haven't been able to meet up for an inspection.
Okay,
So what I told him was, initially, we had continued this to July 7th to begin with. So I said, if it's okay with the hearing officer,
yeah,
we'll continue it to July 7th as planned. And this way
yeah,
I can get out there and, because he actually made the suggestion, can I get on the next hearing when you come out Monday so we can resolve this?
okay.
So I said, okay, and then
So it sounds like he did clear it up, we just need
just
to.
need to verify that he did, because I can't tell from the photos from where I have to take them from,
Okay,
if it is that, because we had to move it approximately like 10, 12 feet.
do
not
we
much.
even have a thing for today? or
We
just
do,
continues on?
just because it was on the agenda, so we want to do it right.
Okay, so let me. I'm gonna call this,
Continuation.
yeah, let's see, we had interim discussion to be followed by previously scheduled hearing on July 7th. No change in status, whatever I said last time still stands.
There was a
Whatever it was.
$1,000 fine.
Let's see.
It was June 9th.
269, need notice. Okay, that'll.
Very good. Yeah, so that was, it's kind of a comedy that I was like, okay,
All
well.
right, well,
couldn't-
put in a holiday without,
no,
one day
no,
notice, we now have a
We
holiday.
have a holiday now, right? So,
Now, I'm gonna have to take a break, I have to make a call.
oh, that's fine. We can
I can
stop
leave
that.
or you can leave, I can go out in the hallway, right?
Yeah, if you want, sure. Yeah.
I just
So
want
we can,
to make a
I'm
call.
just gonna stop recording real quick here and get back to stop share. All right, folks, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. There's still nobody in the peanut gallery by the looks of it, so, nope, didn't want to do that. Sorry, everybody. So we are on to 7 Oak Hill Avenue,
Yes.
and I will do the share screen. And we do have a presentation for this. Whoops, wrong share screen. My fault, everybody. Share screen. Where'd it go? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna have to pull this up really quick and we're gonna go to. Let's see here. Oh, John, what happened here? Lost my presentation. Well, it's better than losing my mind. I've already lost that, so. Okay, so kill, that's gonna be a different screen. Share screen. Share screen again. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, so. Previous decision form for a hearing officer. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, so previous decision form, decision was continued to today, assess fine $20,000. Contingent fine $10,000. So this was sent to the property owner. And we have, so in a matter of housekeeping, need a notice, so we have that here. And this was interesting. Our Constable Bondi, actually, for the first time in this process, hand delivered to the property owner. So the property owner got it. And we know he got the letter. He got the note, that notice for today's hearing. We know he got it. And I actually called Constable Bondi to make sure he took it out of your hand. He's like, yes, sir. So. Hey,
doesn't say what day he did. Oh, here it is, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, everything's here, good.
so here are the photos that I took hot and fresh this morning. The violation is that storage of commercial / contracting equipment. First photo, you can see a box truck. Next photo, you'll get a nice close-up of the work truck that's there. Now, if that was the only thing there, that work truck would be okay. But if we go to the third picture, it is not the only thing there. That work truck is on the right side of the photo, the right side of the driveway. It's off picture here. We have a trailer where the cone is. That's a commercial trailer. We have a box truck here. And I don't believe, let me just double check I know, never mind. So ignore that unregistered car right there, or that could be registered, not sure. So ignore that, I didn't sign up for that, so ignore that. And then last photo, as you're going around the corner on Oak Hill, this is also the property. This is obviously a excavator. And then just to, this as a belts and suspenders, I will put this back up so you can see where we are. 7 Oak Hill Avenue. So basically, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So that excavator, it already gives us a nice full foliage that Google got here. It's back here so when that photo is taken, I'm coming around the curve. You see how these two openings in the
Yeah.
trees? This one here is what gets it.
Got it.
So that's
Supposed to
where,
have a telephoto lens or something.
well, the digital camera might be half my age. It might be 20 years old.
Wow,
The zoom is fantastic on that thing.
that's great.
So it
So how
allows
does
me,
this compare to last time you looked?
last time I can pull that up. You're gonna see some similarities here. Oops, we're gonna go back to your presentation. We're gonna do, that was the 19th, I believe. Yes, it was. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the presentation from the 19th. I'm gonna scoot through the home, the housekeeping here and get right to the photos. Here we go. So if you want to compare it to the first picture there, you can see the box truck still there. Then we go to the next photo, which is down the driveway. Still have well, his work truck's in a different spot. Trailer's in a different spot. They're both there. And this is the box truck that's shown in the second photo that you have from today. My third photo, I should say, my apologies. That hasn't moved, so I would think that is going to be considered storage at some point. And then last but not least, there's the excavator.
Okay.
So not much has changed. I mean, there is obviously activity on the property for the trailer and the work truck are in different spots. And also our hearing officer, our constable found somebody.
Mhm.
So I'm looking for either an increase of the fine, of both fines or one fine, whichever. And I will put on record as well that this will be brought up to our law department for filing on the land records once it gets a confirmation of judgment from the Stanford court.
But you could file on the land records.
I could file, yeah, that is correct. I can file the decision form you're about to fill out on the land records free of charge, just to have it on there.
These guys are not doing anything. You checked, they're not here.
They're not here.
They did not contact you for a continuance or anything.
No, they have not.
Okay, so. Violation continues. No response. They call it
Executors, property owner, well, the property owner's it's an estate.
I mean, they're called a defendant, they're called respondent.
It's a respondent, yeah, or property owner, whichever one.
No property. Okay. Now, look at the last one we had here.
Yeah, that is that one. Yep.
So, where does it stand? Contingent fine of $10,000 assessed. Okay, so we're gonna keep that.
I think 20 was assessed.
But this would bring it up to 30, but I
30.
only got 47 to work
Work
with.
with, right.
So I want to just bring it up to 40, I guess.
No, you can do that. That's well within the,
So no problem, contingent fine. Contingency fine, okay. $10,000 contingency fine. Made. Total.
the assessed fine.
Total assessed. Fine. To $30,000. Contingent. Fine of.
We would, if you're gonna stick with the 10,000 interval, we would have to, because then we'd have to get the maximum fine to 50,000, so that would be at least a month and a little bit more. So we can, if we continue it 2 months, we'll cover the 10 if you want to keep doing that.
Well, I've got 10 already.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
30, and that would bring me to 40.
oh, right, never mind, sorry, I thought you were going right to the 40, sorry.
Right.
No, so you're fine, you're
I'm
fine.
gonna do 15.
Okay, you can do that, yeah, you're still within there. Yep.
Contingent fine of 15,000 assessed. Gets them up to 45, and won't have much to do the next time.
Right. Yeah.
You notice.
When it comes to continuing, I mean, we are gonna file this with we're gonna file our decision form, the land records, and we're also gonna kick it up to the corporation council. So, I mean, typically, we should put a date on these things so they know when the next time is gonna be here.
Okay.
You know, if you want, yeah, it doesn't matter. Man. I could tell you if we did 2 months, which would bring it to August. This is, you tell how good a planner I am. I am not here on the week of the 30th. So if you want to bring it to the 25th,
Why are we bringing it out to August?
because the law department wants to file the request for judgment with the court. And our law department said they are probably gonna need at least a month to A, file it, B, see if it's accepted and signed off on, and then they'll put the lien on the land records.
Right.
So we don't want to possibly up the fine until we know what's gonna happen.
Okay, read notice, continue to. So July would be fine. We got any dates in July?
But we just had that, yeah, we have the 28th, which is the same one as Mr. Seha from earlier.
So we continue to the 28th, and that'll be at 45, and we can just turn it in at that time.
Well, we can turn it in, and the idea, Attorney Sapienza wanted it in sooner, if you
Well, I
will.
mean, he can turn it in for 30 today.
That's what I mean, yeah, so you're gonna turn it for 30, I gotta redo the form, and then on the 7th is the next meeting that we have, or I can send it to you via email if you don't mind.
Okay,
Okay, I can do that then, yeah, we'll do that.
all right.
No, even, it's some old school, I was waiting for the live signal, anyway,
Yeah, I have to get this thing filed by Monday. She's telling me she'll be able. So I can file it Sunday night, because. Yeah,
so that is it, we are all set with that one.
okay, this is where everyone goes back.
That's that. The old one.
This goes with this. So these three go together. And that's 702.
So the next two, and I'm gonna blaze through these because I do have a train to catch, but just want the,
I can drive you to the train.
I appreciate that. This is my exercise, I do walk.
Okay.
I do start soccer in 1 week, so, and then I will probably end up taking your offer for a ride. No, these are gonna be, these are 21 Old Trolley and 20 Slocum. These were ones that were in some form of probate. So these are basically I'm bringing them back on. So if you wanted to, I can send you the previous decision forms on these and all that, because they've both gone through the probate. They've run its course, so they're gonna be back on. I'm hoping, I've been in contact with attorney Luke Thomas. He's here in Norwalk, he's representing 21 Old Trolley. And I have been in contact with the new owner of 20 Slocum. They're both in varying degrees of what's needed. 20 Slocum, you may remember, is actually a funny one. That was a guy, he just chopped his shed. He just like literally took a saw to his gazebo shed and he just cut it right down to meet the setback.
Right, yeah.
He just needs to get me a final as-built. Actually, his
Oh, yeah.
family needs to get me a final as-built. And then that's done. And then 21 Old Trolley, this was one where all of our notices were going unheard for about 4 months. But unfortunately, the owner passed away
Right.
during midstream, so it just got through. We have attorney Lucas Thomas on that one, and the previous owner's daughter is helping out as well. So those are gonna be coming back in, and I'll send the previous decision forms on all these. I just wanted to bring them on to your attention, because I did inform both of the current owners and representation that these will be coming back.
Okay,
So then they both said, that's fine, we'll work with it, try and get it done, and they both agreed that if we do need a hearing to get more time, they'll come in. And do
Okay.
that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Everybody have a good 4th of July, because our next hearings are July 7th.
hold on, let me get this.
We can do the whole,
You can-
yeah, I'm gonna end that right now. Oh, let me go, I gotta stop first.